Yeah, I know you might just listen part one, and this is part two about mothers. And I started with my mother. For when I look back on the struggle that my mother go through with all of us, and I'm thanking God that I was able to do something for my mother. And I want to tell you that it's a good thing to honor your mother and your father. Yeah. And our days will be long on earth. Yes. So children, treat your mother good. Show respect to your mother. Do your best for your mother. And it will be good for you. I can tell you, I try to do my best for my mother. And it worked out so good. When I said so good for me, I never knew say something could happen so fast and so quick. Blessing just start to run me down. All because of what I did for my mother. And I can start to tell you this story for I'm a storyteller. And every time you see this face, you can get this story of what God done for me and what happened in my life. So the story about my mother, it's like this. I was working, started to show a partner, and it was a partner that's bringing a good sum of money. And I show my partner, and I get the last jaw and the first jaw. And it's the first in my life I owe that amount of money at one time. And guess what? I never take none out of it for myself. I was living into a rent house in 1978. And I never make that be a bother to me. I use it and I purchase some stuff at the hardware. And I go there. I must tell you, where mother goes in one room. When my father left and gone, we have to leave this goodly place as we talk about Good Meadow. We they leave and come live.
Continue.
Yeah, I remember when my father left my mother and gone, we end up leave Good Meadow. Our father did gone, and we come and she have to pay rent at a location for a period of time. That's not in my memory right now, the amount of years that we stay at the rent house. And she get a one-room bill up on a piece of land that she did have. And we all live in the one room. So we grew up like that, and God happened to bless me and to help me in such a way. And when I get the last and first partner job, I decide to respect my mother with it by putting on a room, and that room that she did have. Yeah, that's what I did. And it was good. And as we started and said, the good word said, do good and good will follow you. I never think about say doing good. I just want to do it on behalf of my mother. So at that time I wasn't thinking about myself, with the cash. I was thinking about put on a room for my mother. And that's what I was thinking, and that's what I was focusing on, to do it for my mother. And God helped me to start it and to finish it. Yes, for my mother. And that was 1978. And the blessing of God was just flowing in me. And God helped me that I get a piece of land after that, 1979. I get a piece of land to purchase. And before the end of year, God helped me to start buy some material and to start a house on that piece of land. 1979. And I started the house the last month in 1979. For the person that is supposed to start with me to help me, it was my brother-in-law who helped me. But guess what? In time did come for him to go to Cayman. Yes. And he said we would have to start it. So even when we started, we never too strong with cash, but God worked it out. And we started and come out of foundation, not like the foundation I was talking about the other day, and still remain in foundation. We come out of foundation, and God help me to continue and go up with one side of it, and God help me to finish the side. And shortly after that, early in 1980, I found myself batting up window, batting up some of the doorway, the back doorway. It was no back doorway, and everything like that. I'm putting one window in the house, 2 rooms we go up with. And I put in one window in the house, one door, and the house to walk in. And the rest of them, I think button them up. But I thank God the way and the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding that He gave me. And allow me to do it that way. And I ended up moving out of rent house, 1980. And to my surprise, I leave out a rent house, 1980. And they tell you, oh God, you're an answer prayer. Oh God, do things. I don't know how God do it, but I get a word coming from the Lord. The people went wonder, but I get a word coming from the Lord. And the word is coming from the Lord is, so the Lord speak and said, He tell me about a wife. So it was a word. It wasn't me by myself, but it was, and that's why I get my wife. The word coming from the Lord. The Lord do everything for me. And I do believe it's because of what I return to my mother. And the Lord decided to bless me in many different ways. And I want to tell her that I got married 1980. And I must tell you, when I started the house for my mother, I was just 24, Yes. So look at goodness was following me. I was just 24 and I was doing the goodness of God. I want to tell you all, say, the best for us is to do His goodness. And His goodness and mercy shall follow us all the days of our life. Yes, so do good for God. Do good for God, and His goodness will follow us. So I got married in 1980. And so many blessing on top of blessing. In 1981, I'm cutting it short. In 1981, you know what happened to me? I become a father. Yeah, I become a father in 1981. And it was good. I don't want to say nothing, but I don't want it to affect no one. For good things still can affect sometime and defense. I'm just leaving it there. I have already said this part. But 1981, I become a father. And that was good. And so many things. And the next, I'm leaving it right here so far. There's some more about this storyteller about my life. I need to let you all know how God can work things, and all because when he say, come and go with me in my Father's house, and it will be joy, joy, joy. I never think about it. I never know what the joy would be like. But God showed me the joy. God reminded me and said, and I said, come